embrace it wherever. We just assume healthy. Church and also a past deacon. At the present time, I'm a student at the University of BPC. And I'll tell you briefly about the 4 courses that I have taken or that I am taking, and then I'll tell you why I feel so blessed by choosing this church-related university. And the first course I want to tell you about, I attended this morning, and it is taught by Professor Godbout, and and it's on Greek, as probably you remember, and we have assignments, just like if you remember going to university, and they are very helpful to us in relation to Greek because they update us from the staging of Greek. And so it is most helpful to know that which is current, and certainly Greek is a very, very complicated process. And we all know C.S. Lewis, and we are also reading Greek Observed. That's the first course. The second one was prayer. And I missed quite a few classes when that was taught by Professor John Sawyer. He also happens to be a pastor, and so we're very fortunate. We have 2 pastors at the university. Actually, there's Professor Karen Hagee. So the way of prayer was the textbook. And guess what? There are at least 6 different ways to pray. So you know 6? If you don't, you need this book. Also, I can confidently say all of you have been in prayer for the last couple months. There is prayer by gazing. I know there hasn't been a one of you that hasn't found prayer through gazing. There's also another kind of prayer, and that is through music. To take this class from Professor Barbara Flacco, you have to set your Sunday mornings aside. And it is very worthwhile, because I understand that sometimes singing is worth 2 prayers. So you will find amazing things in this book. Now, the third class that I have been to, and it's been taught several times and the content changes, and it is taught by Professor Paul Carr. I've had perfect attendance in that. And the topic that is going to be discussed when class starts on the 23rd of November is, where did consciousness come from? We certainly will need help. I hope that there are many of you who can attend. This isn't easy to solve and find an answer to this. Eventually there will be a textbook that will be read. Then the 4th class I attend is Books and Friends. And there is an organizer who is Professor Marilyn Brock, but she doesn't teach it. We're students, and we can decide what we want to read on our own. And we have finished in the past, recent past, The Great Work of Your Life by Stephen Cope. All of your friends are in here, so you learn how they found out what their true calling was in life. What am I to be? Who am I to be? There's Keats, there's Thoreau, there's Gandhi, there's Susan B. Anthony, there's Harriet Tubman, Beethoven, just on, and you will be amazed, and once in a while there might be a tear when you realize the effort that was put into and the success of having the Spirit guide you in terms of what your life work should be. And we have, as I said, read that in the past, and now we are reading The Future of Faith by Harvey Cox. And I tell you, in just 2 chapters, I've been surprised in what I have learned. And one of the main things is that our Christian history is divided into the age of faith and belief and spirit. And of course, I think the book is going to go in the direction of the age of spirit, because that's the age we're in now, and teach us about why some people say they are spiritual and not religious. It makes me wonder how I can be helpful in those those people that believe they are spiritual, and what obligation I might have in terms of explaining more about religion. Okay, so I've told you about my courses. So I'm at this university. The course of offerings are unbelievable in quality and variety. The unaffiliated church, BPC, at this university spreads and enacts the gospel to its members, community, and to the missionaries. I too like an accountability to share in an active way the knowledge I learn. And when sitting quietly and examining my learning in the evenings, I invite the Spirit to join me. I'm reminded of Proverbs 3:6, saying, "In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path." I interpret that to mean I better seek knowledge so I can do my part to understand his direction for my path. Where would I be if this University of BPC was not here, serving me? I think I went over my time. Sorry. I think it's okay if I forgot something. Did you ever get a bill for tuition? I didn't. I haven't gotten any bills. Should I tell them? I don't have a bill? Well, I know what's right to do. I suppose I should go to this in prayer and then have that followed up by some action. One of the most difficult acts of faith for me is suspension of my own preconceived ideas about how to proceed. I should not eliminate all risk from a decision and action, but here is where I need guidance from my faith. With a lot of prayer, and with God and my husband's help, we will pay my no tuition bill with 10% after taxes. And I hope you might join me in finding your own prayerful and grateful process to determine the gift that you will give. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.